you have found one of the most prominent and well-recognized programs for research in learning, design, and technology. Our faculty have an exceptional record in publications, as well as a high involvement with their graduate students.
Hi, I'm Allie Carr-Chelman. I'm the head of Learning and Performance Systems and a professor in Learning, Design, and Technologies. I am a graduate of Indiana University, where I studied with Charlie Regaluth and became very interested in educational systems design as a specific field of study. Prior to that, I actually designed jet fighter pilot training, taught kindergarten and third grade, and got some degrees from Syracuse and did some work at Ohio State. So like all good academics, I've moved around lots of times and places. Currently, I teach courses in qualitative research, in instructional design for teachers, diffusion of innovations and change, and I have research interests in user design, e-learning, boys and gaming, basic instructional design for teachers, and I love being at Penn State. I've been here for more than 20 years now.
Hi, my name is Josh Kirby. I'm the lead faculty member for the Learning, Design, and Technology online programs at Penn State University's College of Education. In my role, I work with our online students, particularly those who are enrolled in our online certificate and degree programs in Learning, Design, and Technology. That also means that I am the liaison between our department and World Campus, who is the Penn State entity that delivers our online learning to students across the whole world. When I'm not here at work, I enjoy being outdoors. I like to be disconnected, but most of the time nowadays I spend it raising my very young daughter. She's just a small infant. She's a little peanut, and so we spend a lot of time learning how to raise a small human that can't communicate anything that they want. So we have to guess, and normally my spouse and I don't like to guess.
Hi, I'm Kyle Peck. I'm a professor here at Penn State. Have been for quite some time. I've been at Penn State for 28 years. I started looking at technology in K-12 schools for about the first 20 decades. I tried to lead a revolution reinventing K-12 education. Then I noticed that changes seemed much more likely to happen much sooner at higher education level. Innovations in technology, including MOOCs and digital badges, and a new emphasis on competency-based approaches, personalized learning, adaptive learning, learning games, all kinds of things going on at the same time, and higher education staggering with increased costs, with all kinds of forces outside pushing on them, new levels of competition for students, pressures from the business world about doing a better job of preparing graduates, and so on and so on. So I believe it's a perfect storm of forces working on higher education that are about to make it change in big ways. And it's not just me. There are people all over. This is a book, I met this author this week, Higher Education in Crisis, ? I asked her the answer, and the answer is yes. Actually, in here she explains it in many different ways why it is an interesting time and higher ed is likely to change. So my research interests, massive open online courses, digital badges, personalization, trying to create some models that get Penn State moving into some new territory, into competency-based, smaller units of new kinds of products that are more suited to today's learner, who has access to online shopping and is used to having great information about what they buy, about having it customized and delivered to them in a way that makes sense. I think education is about to change in some very important ways, and it's a very exciting time for you to be working in this field. We're looking forward to getting to know you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Roy Clariano. I'm a professor here at Penn State. I've been at Penn State since 1997. I'll just take a minute to talk about my research interest. I am currently focused on one very narrow aspect of measurement, which is called measurement of knowledge structure. We are forming a naive theory right now, or model of knowledge structure, that allows us to apply it in a broad range of areas such as reading comprehension, cognitive load theory, expertise reversal, and most recently we've been applying it in first and second language learning. So it's a pretty powerful or plenipotent theoretical model that we're using that can cut across a lot of domains. Our major ways of measuring knowledge structure so far have been through concept maps, essays, sorting tasks, pairwise tasks. We haven't used think alouds yet, but that's another good way of doing it. We've developed a tool that converts essays into knowledge structure, and I'd be very interested in talking more about that. Let me talk about my personal life. I am actually, my main interest, I guess, is research. I do like to travel, but when I travel, it's often to meet colleagues to talk about research, and most of the friends that I talk with talk about research. I guess it's because of the nature of being an academic that's the way that works out.
Hi, I'm Priya Sharma and I'm an associate professor here at the Learning Design and Technology program. My main research interests are looking at sort of how technology can support learning in different contexts. I like to look at face-to-face contexts, I like to look at online contexts, and my big question is how can we design, implement and evaluate technology in a way that is best for learning. Current projects that I have going on, one is a project that looks at how knowledge sharing occurs in online informal networks, and I'm working on that with Dr. Land. We're looking at sort of the space as an affinity space where people gather because of interest, so it's not really a formal environment, but we're really interested in understanding how those practices evolve over time, how participants become more central to the community, and how they, sort of repurpose that learning for their own practice. A second project that I have going on is related to the use of mobile devices in an undergraduate geoscience classroom. And in that project, we're sort of looking at it from two perspectives. One is how do these mobile devices help students to engage in problem solving, collaborative problem solving. And the second is how do they appropriate this technology for their learning, which is a slightly different approach. So I would say those are my two main big projects at this point. And they sort of wrap up again into my overall interest in technology and learning.
My name is Ty Hollett. I'm a new assistant professor here in the Department of Learning and Performance Systems, Learning and Design Technology program. I came here from Vanderbilt University, where I was a part of a research group called the Spatial Learning and Mobility Group. So we look at a lot of issues surrounding learning in space and the design of learning spaces. That led me to think more deeply about the design of informal learning settings. So my research has taken me to design digital media rich settings in spaces like a public library, and I've designed game-based programming within those settings as well. So that said, I continue to push on issues of games and learning, the maker movement, and informal learning more broadly. Personally, I'm an avid sports fan. I love all Chicago sports. I also love to get outside and hike or exercise, and I like to do yoga as much as I can.
We are Penn State.